I greet you, White Chief.
John!
Be calm, Abigail. How came you to speak in our tongue?
I was captured and brought to your land by another White Chief in another boat. I was taken before your queen.
Only way to settle this argument is to play Russian roulette. Do you know how to play Russian roulette?
No, I don't.
So, now, that is recording, this is recording. So, let's see. Where to begin? Martin, welcome to Stories from the Attic. Welcome to the show. Welcome. We're back.
Mm-hmm.
We're back. We are back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yep. Okay, we're going to need you to be a little bit more, up about this. I know it's 100 degrees out.
We are back and I am up.
All right, there we go. Good, okay. But I know the reason why you are mesmerized right now is because I have basically gone into your past without your knowledge.
No, completely without my knowledge or approval, I might add.
Exactly.
But, okay.
And let's get you a little bit closer to that microphone.
Alrighty.
And I'm going to drop your level just a little bit.
Okay.
And because if I can hear echo, I can hear too much of you off the walls and not you in the microphone. Those dulcet tones, Martin, we cannot deny.
You say
them.
dulcet tones, I say nasal twang, but whatever. Potato.
If you want to talk like we're Kentuckians, we can do that. I don't mind. But here's the thing. So this piece of the past, which we're seeing on the wide shot right now, is this item right here. This I found about 3 weeks ago. Everything I found is like 3 weeks ago, because we're in quantum time now, right? 3 weeks from now, I'll be talking
singularity.
about... Yes, exactly. But this is Martin, I don't need to tell you what this is. Martin, what is this?
This is a portable phonograph player and radio.
That's right.
And I had not this model. I recognized it right away. It has a lid.
Right.
So, so it carries well.
Right.
And I said, this is a Panasonic, right? And he said, and it is. The model I had one level lower than this, if you will, because my model, the difference was this has like a dark gray base.
Right.
Mine was white throughout. This has an AM and FM radio. Mine only had the AM,
wow.
To which I listened to WABC and I forgot what, but it would have the Yankee games.
Oh, yeah, well, you might
be
right. WNEW, 1010 wins. WINS, that's 1010.
Yeah.
They had either the Yankees or the Mets, and then there was NBC had their AM station, so WNBC.
Well, when we traveled, and it could work with batteries as well as, I think, plug-in, I made sure there were batteries, and it was my companion. And I also had a fair amount of phonograph records, both 45s and 33s, and I would play them on this during my... maybe ages between 8 and 11, let's say.
Right.
It was in the 70s, early to mid 70s maybe.
Yeah,
and it was one of my prized possessions. So happy to see
it back
to
again.
see it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. 3 weeks ago, I'm digging in this filthy basement. I mean, it's packed. They want to clear out the house. And through this mess, and I should have video of this somewhere because I was shooting at the time. You have this in the garage. You have no cars. You just have piles of boxes and Christmas decor and things like that. And I see a steamer trunk, and I'm like, oh, at the bottom of this.
Hello, beautiful.
Yes. Exactly.
Come to daddy. Steamer trunk. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? There's got to be something in there.
Sure.
And I open it up, and what I actually find is 70s era college stuff. So what we have is a college steamer trunk. As right now, college students across America, soon to be college students across America are actually starting to go shopping and thinking about what am I going to put all my stuff in. And when I went to college, it was one of these standard steamer trunks, not the Victorian era steamer trunks, but the 70s era steamer trunks.
Gotcha.
But this one was a little bit older, so I was hoping for something, maybe 1870s, not 1970s stuff.
Yeah, still.
But, so I started digging through, and at the very bottom, man, this thing was musty, and it smelled to high heaven. It was just not full of mold, but just musty.
You've disinfected this somehow?
Well, look, I've already ruined your olfactory senses by where I've taken you and where you have joined me. Yes, I did a pretty good job of drying it out. I actually did disassemble the whole thing and
Really?
and clean it out. Yeah,
Not surprised.
because even the little speaker holes were full of like dust
Yeah.
or muck or whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, this thing isn't ever going to work. These things usually what they say is you got to replace the caps, man, before you plug it in. You can't do that. And the caps are the capacitors, and they were wrapped in paper, and they store energy in them, and it's what these devices use in order to power up and play these tiny little scratches on records or tape, and actually amplify them and get them out. But these caps don't last, and sometimes you can plug in one of these things and you better back off, because it's all of a sudden you'll hear a click and then you'll see a puff of smoke, and then it's like you run to unplug it, but it's too late. You're not burning down the house, but you basically have taken a nice old piece of vintage audio and smoked it.
Okay.
And it's done. But,
And no genie comes out.
No genie, yeah,
Okay.
right. It's,
Yeah.
I rubbed this thing's size about 1,000 times, and still no genie came out, which is good, because that's bad genie. Bad genie. We don't want that genie. If Barbara Eden came out, that'd be great.
Sure.
But no.
Yes, master.
No. Forget who her the evil genie master over all the genies was on I Dream of Jeannie.
That was Haji, the great Haji.
Right,
But then
right.
there was also her evil sister.
Oh, right.
Also played by Barbara Eden.
Also, right, yes,
in
yes.
a brunette wig. Why do I know this?
Why do we
I know
this?
everything.
We know everything about Barbara Eden.
Hayden Rourke, best foil in
Oh,
television
God.
comedy. Yeah. As Dr. Bellows. Okay.
And I know.
But enough.
I know.
Okay.
Dr. Bellows, Dr. Bellows. Anyway, the genie. But I love those utterances by
Yes.
by Major Nelson.
That was perfect. That was a great Hayden Rourke.
Yes.
Why is there an elm tree growing in your living room?
That's right.
A secret NASA experiment, Dr. Bellows, for growing things on the moon.
Genie. and then right, and it would be bong, and it'd be like ah, and I live for those. Could do a drinking game on that utterance.
Yes.
But yes, so that was sort of like what happened is that the must cleared.
Yes.
And I plugged it in, and I'm like, this is going to work. But the first thing I do is turn on the radio, and the radio works great, and the sound is strong. And I'm like, well, this is Panasonic, so they're Matsushita's behind a lot of the electronics that we used in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Okay.
All the VCRs. And they all were licensed by other companies like Quasar and Zenith, and their guts were in those VCRs. So they're serious stuff. And what's great is there's no antenna on this. But even though I do have a nearby radio station, and I shouldn't expect too much because the tower is like looming over us,
Yes.
still great sound coming out of this.
I was impressed.
Great sound.
Yeah.
And no antenna. So it has an internal antenna wrapped in copper wire, and it works great. So I was like, all right, hope against hope. I found a 45 that I had, and I just put it on there, and I turned it on, and I was like, can barely read because some of the knobs have their silver detents have been worn off and stuff. So, and slowly it came to life and started to spin. And I was like, it's never going to get up to the right speed. It's going to be, or it's going to warble, or it's going to do something. After about half an hour of just letting it go, it got up to speed, and it played the record fine, and I was like, no way.
Look at that.
I brought it back to life. I gave it life. No.
It's alive!
It's
alive!
And it could play bigger and bigger records. Okay. But no, so there it is. And I was like, you know what? It's a perfect thing to bring out today because, again, I always warn people when they go to tag sales, do not, if you don't want trouble, do not buy a record player.
Yeah.
Because the reason why you don't want to buy a record player is because then you will need to buy a record to make sure it works. And one record begets another record. And they're
like rabbits.
They're like yes, they're like dust bunnies, and they they quantify again with the word. I get $1 every time I say quanta or quantum, and you end up with a record collection. And I'm headed there now because just a week ago I found that vinyl right there, and I want you to show it. Yeah, just show it. You can show it to your camera over here, and if you can get your arms around it. I know now. It's at the Ballad of 200. Bicentennial. So what we have is a commemorative album made by some company to commemorate in 1976 the 200th anniversary of our country.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what a great find. And it's like, and as soon as I saw on the back, so what hit you first on the back? Not Don, but the actual label.
On the back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was saying Revel in the bottom left corner.
Yeah.
Because I recognized that as the logo for the famous scale model company.
That's
Revel.
right, yeah. And, that's the thing, I've always had a problem with how that's pronounced. Is it Revel or Revel?
I don't know.
It depends on how much.
Did it write a bolero? Did it write?
It depends. Truthfully, it depends on how much weed the older kids on your street were doing, and how many times they used a magnifying glass to melt the models that they had built by Ravel or Revel. Although Revel is probably closer to Rebel, which makes it cooler, so it could be that. But I always called it Revel. It's funny, you called it Revel. Well, definitely.
Revel.
Yeah,
the double L.
You're from a different part of New York. I'm from Westchester. You're from what?
Westchester. Well, the Bronx originally, but then Westchester. But I was from the eastern part of Westchester. You were in the northern part
of Westchester. So that's
the linguistic difference.
The northern accent is Revel.
Yeah.
So this is great, but the other thing that caught my eye, which is why I had to buy this, was as you go through the cast list. So this is basically a musical.
Yeah.
And I was expecting it to be kind of like a narrated musical and a talking musical, but mostly talking but with music. And I was like, so maybe there's some good spoken word stuff in here. And so who are the narrators, Martin?
The narrators are Walt Hoffman and the other narrator,
the irascible,
Don Rickles. By the way, Don spelled Donn. I don't know. Yes,
I didn't see that.
So what is that? The Hungarian spelling? No, Donn. You don't believe me?
No,
Look at that.
I don't believe you. Oh my God!
Here, you'll need the magnifying.
Magnifying glass. Here we go.
Yeah.
And oh my God!
At some point in his career, he dropped the N.
Oh no! That explains it. All right, we got to listen to this.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop this out, and I'm going to give this to you.
Okay.
You are the DJ for today.
We get to play it on my favorite phonograph.
Since you have experience here, right?
Oh, yeah. My engineering skills with this device is higher than
side one. Okay. So, no spitting on the record. I have a friend of mine who knows a lot about records. He uses Pledge, and it actually works very well. But this looks like it was almost never played. But let's go ahead and do a needle drop for me. And
just anywhere.
No, right at the beginning. Let's try and get the beginning. And if it slips off, it slips off.
Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start.
Hey, we're not copywritten for that. We're not covered for that.
Got it.
Oh, good job. Oh, this is pastoral and nice.
Dust in the wind. Sorry.
That lilting voice, that is throughout the whole song. That's kind of like a signature end to each of the stanzas. And you'll see, they'll do it again. Yeah, that it's a signature, I guess you'd call that.
Very 60s, very Grace Slick, very Cher.
Very, well, kind of like I want to say like troubadour-like.
Sure.
So it's but what's funny is that this is done in this is actually printed in 1975. And not 76, so it's kind of a year early.
In anticipation.
The hopes that it would actually get to 200. We just made it. I don't think we'll make it to 250. It's just about 36 hours away.
Fingers crossed,
but there's still a chance. But anyway, the point is that Ravel, the model company, what are they doing creating records, and who produced this and why? And doing a little bit of background research, we kind of find out that the guy who is the producer of this also has like his own production company, and this is when Ravel is in Venice, California being very close to Hollywood. So you have access to recording studios and this kind of production era, and I don't think Ravel ever made too many other records. I think they did an earlier one, maybe having to do with space. That was similar, but not a musical. And of course, I think they did sound effects records, possibly. But it was all done in the light of, I think, the fact that they're a model company. What kind of models are they putting out?
Sure.
U.S.'s Constitution, the famous ships of American history. The Titanic, the Lusitania. All these. No, never mind.
No, but I remember them doing historical military vehicles.
Right.
20th century, 19th century, 18th century.
Right.
It was a very much historically driven.
Right. So I guess there's a sense of hey, we're a model company. Why don't we do this? And this guy ends up actually working in marketing and promotions for Revell, and we'll figure out his name later. It's Howard Ryder. Can't find too much about him. No found a grave. No obituary.
And is it Howard with 2 D's on the end or just 1 D? 1 D on the end.
I am burning with embarrassment over this because I bought this thinking that I cannot wait to hear how they use Don Rickles on this, and I'm so hoping that there's a that they just let him be him on this. And you know what, if first 5 minutes into 10 minutes into the show and you nailed it on the head. It's not Don Rickles. It's Don
Rickles. Could that be?
No touching the volume.
I'm sorry.
I'll bring it up.
Right.
Dear God, save us. Look at him.
A savage, to be sure, and speaking the king's English.
I greet you, White Chief.
John.
Come, Abigail.
My name is
How
Squanto.
came you to speak in our tongue?
I was captured and brought to your land by another White Chief in another boat. I was taken before your queen.
That sounds like Wally Cox, who's not credited on this album.
Another White Chief hungry for gold.
As Squanto, Wally Cox.
And when I am again in the trees of my land, I run. But my brothers and sisters died from a red fever. Even the living are now weak and hungry.
I'm sorry, that's Wally Cox.
That's Wally Cox. And I don't know. I mean, red fever is a pretty convenient cover-up for what the white folks brought over.
Compact is made. We will go ashore. Then so be it. Here we settle and call it Plymouth, as a memory of what we have left behind. Come, Abigail.
You know why? Because no one could spell Chrysler.
Right.
White man is friend of red man.
Yes, Squanto. We will always be friends.
That sounded like a very guarded word. Yes, Squanto, we will always be friends. We go back to a musical interlude.
So they built their homes against the winter's cold, yet half of them did not see the ice release its hold. But Squanto, faithful friend, made sure the rest would live, again to plan and harvest and then their thanks to give. It was the first Thanksgiving America was living, from Plymouth and other places.
It's low-hanging fruit they're doing for the lyrics here.
It's interesting, though. What I'm learning from this project with you,
right,
and then my memory sort of backs this up. In terms of marketing and synergy and other media form, the record album was commonly used. Lots of companies. I bet there's Campbell Soup Records. Campbell Soup presents. Whatever.
And we might have shared a whiskey one, and if not, it will be coming up on a future show because it's awesome.
A declaration of our resistance to the unfair Stamp Act.
Whoa, that was a quick jump ahead.
Yeah, we went from Plymouth to the Stamp Act. Oh, they sing cranky.
Charles I is Cromwell, and George III.
How dare you tax our tea? Man, we love tea. The English turned us on to tea like we turned the Indians on to tobacco and then kind of pulled away from them and said, hey. Oh, here we go. Duck Patrick.
I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
And they shot him.
Death.
And they shot him. Poorly chosen.
Richard Dawson on Laughing.
Yeah,
give me liberty or give me a hickey.
Service.
And I was like, what's a hickey? I didn't know, but
give me liberty or let me kiss. Let's go to the very end. We're going to get Lincoln here because we just killed Patrick Henry.
Plymouth, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right. Your Chrysler
and we're almost
joke
at the end of side one. Go ahead, drop it. here we go. There's
we
Lincoln.
say here, but it can never forget what they did here.
Again, Lincoln sounding a lot like Wally Cox.
Rather to be dedicated here to the
Or it could be
unfinished work
Don
which they who
Rickles.
fought here have thus
But he's
far
only the
so
narrator.
nobly advanced.
Well,
It is rather for
mean,
us to be here dedicated
the
to the
Gettysburg
great
Address
task
is an
remaining
awesome piece
before
of
us.
writing, and,
Yes.
and it's
That
and
from
as
these
kitschy
honored
as
dead,
this album
we take
kind of comes
increased
across.
devotion to
When I
that
listened to this
cause
part, I
for
was
which
like, you know
they
what?
gave
It is a
the
pretty
last full
good
measure of
piece
devotion.
of, yeah.
That we
Yes.
here
Yeah.
highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
All right. Oops. Oops.
Was that
was
the
it, yeah.
assassination of Lincoln?
That was the
That happened after
was
the Gettysburg
pull
Address?
Pull it all the
Okay.
way to the back, the little detent there. That'll stop the record. And yeah, so again, another interesting use of speeding up history by the echoing gunfire. I mean, again, how much history can you tell on one side of a record? Well, flip it over, Martin.
Fair enough.
We'll listen to a couple of other needle drops.
This is the very type of thing my mother would have purchased for me for Christmas.
Right.
And that I'd be listening to on this device while I was maybe doing a jigsaw puzzle or
Right.
maybe even assembling a model, as I did a couple of times.
Right,
Yeah.
because she would look at the almonds, eat a peach, and go, "Oh no, no, oh no, no, I'm getting him this." So yeah, drop it anywhere. It's
anywhere?
good. Anywhere.
Soon internal trouble seemed terrible no more. Guns were heard in Europe, the world had gone to war. For a time America watched and played with its new toys, the automobile and airplanes, machines that made some noise. But soon American boys would fight across the sea.
Is this World War I or II?
One, I think.
We
World
kind of
War
stayed out of both of them, as long as we could.
Almost over, eh, Frank? We've held Old Sport. Old Blackjack Pershing wants us to cross the Meuse tomorrow.
Oh, that was
Head
World
for
War
Berlin.
I.
Yeah. I haven't heard any
But I hear they're
narration.
talking peace at Versailles.
I know.
Can you just see Kaiser Bill's
the,
mug?
the narrator is a singer.
Say,
Oh,
Wouldn't it
interesting.
be
right?
grand?
I
get
guess
back.
that's the only narration we're getting.
I hear Home Run
yeah.
Baker's through.
Which I think is
Yeah.
unfair. I think if you're a narrator, you
Ultimate
have to
Country Mile.
speak.
Name a
You
route.
can't sing.
Exactly. And there's two of them. I've only
Yeah.
heard one voice
Yeah.
singing.
It's like if we were doing this podcast, Martin, I'd be saying, "And Martin lifted the record."
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, Brett, just tell me to lift the record. You know, and I think that would be fair. But all right, so this is World
Those
War
are the days,
I.
all right.
Yawn Fest.
The big one.
Let's go ahead and move on.
Yawn Fest, right?
Move.
Let's get to the good war.
Let's see if we can
war.
get to the 50s, because the 50s is not too far. Okay, back some.
Right, we recognize that
Yeah.
nanosecond of sound
Yeah,
as
and we
space
can't play
travel.
that because Wally Schirra will shoot me.
Okay.
So go back a little bit further.
Well, we don't
A little
want
bit further.
that.
And a hopeful day.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Will this cover the 50s?
Though our society was split by a war,
Oh, so
we never forgot John F. Kennedy's commitment to
No,
put man on the moon.
60s. Okay. Yeah.
Hell, the world stood up and listened. Indeed, it seemed those years glowed, the best years they were christened. The hungry years were over, the war had come and gone. John Q. Public built a home, planted himself alone with a little plaster fawn. The years moved on. I'm sure you know the 50s, they bring 'em back today, with grease to make your flat top and cars of primer gray. Career's not a war, they said, though men died as if it was. Rock and roll awoke us and gave us all a buzz, and you had to run from the fuzz.
That's my favorite lyric in this whole thing.
give us a yeah.
Just because
Just because.
Kennedy became our king, the 60s started fine. Toward space we aimed our rockets, it was a hopeful sign. But Dallas blasted Camelot, and we seemed to lose our way. Vietnam, Beatles, LSD, Bob Dylan had their say. Oh, trouble wouldn't stay away. But then a hopeful day.
Oh, a hopeful day. What's the hopeful day? They've covered a lot of bad
either
stuff.
Martin Luther King Jr. or
Though our
or
society
landing on the moon.
was split by a war, we never forgot John F. Kennedy's commitment
No,
to put
landing
man on the moon.
Okay, landing on
so
the moon.
It became the brightest and the best moment in the turbulent decade of the 1960s.
Not the best and the brightest, but the brightest and the
brightest
best.
and yeah. So I'm going to stop there because I already know that Wally Schirra's estate won't give may give permission, but it is flagged by YouTube as we won't. If you start making money from this podcast, we want some.
They want that.
And right now, I think we're safe.
Okay.
But I want to say
who knows?
That,
right.
Who knows? Right. Exactly. But anyway, I think
Wally Schirra. They couldn't get Neil Armstrong when they did this. He was.
When I look at when you look at YouTube's hits for copyright, you can go to more information and it shows you the clip and where it is. Sometimes it's a little mixed up because one of the things that is like Hitler is killed is one of the lines, and I'm like, and I went through all the clips and it never actually sings or says that Hitler has been killed. So I don't know where that was, but
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming it's back in the 40s. But the point is that it gives you as best information as the robots and algorithm together can say, hey, this is somebody else's. You can't use it. You may be able to use it. We won't hit you for it. Just to let you know, you might get hit for it for money or, because what they will do is if we were to put it on there, if someone, again, is listening with their algorithms. Oh,
What happened to Martin? What happened to Martin? I just want to rest assured to everyone, I am perfectly fine.
Wait, Martin, where are you?
I am perfectly fine. I did not. That was the camera that fell over, not me.
Okay, I'm assuming it's still on you.
It's blinking red as it
it's
has
still
been,
recording.
so,
That was pretty good. And that was Wally.
Okay,
that was
this
Wally
is-
Schirra.
Warning us.
His estate.
This is now me going. Okay,
Yes,
I
right.
shouldn't have done that.
I should have said, Martin, roll with it.
I know if I rolled with it, no one would have been any of the wiser.
Exactly.
By the way, Squanto may be, and the Squanto estate may be coming after you.
Well, they've tried before, but
of all the horrible things done to the Native Americans, this is what.
That's 'cause one of them.
This is they're gonna start and work their way up. Start with this podcast. Oh my God!
No, I know there could be a casino on top of this record in about half an hour. But the point is that it's really indicative of the period in time. And also, again, a company's interest to, like you say, it's likely a parent that would have given this to their child to put in their record collection because we love educational stuff for our kids. And Ravel's like, yeah, put it in there because, maybe you'll know a little bit about the U.S.'s Constitution, of which is part of this record. And maybe when that U.S.'s Constitution is you're at your local hobby shop and you're looking at models, you'll go, Mom, can I have the U.S.'s Constitution? And she'd be like, oh, Martin. Yes, of course you can. Sorry, that was my mother talking. The my English mother. God rest her soul. I loved her. But the point is that so it's a really neat look. I mean, and again, I love the serendipity of having found this just the week previous because this was a bunch of records. Trini Lopez and Polka, Polka and Steve
Polka. All right,
Steve Lawrence and of course Old Blue Eyes and of course I see this and it's and again we got to hold this up again because it's like it's this shiny beacon of brightness and
200 America Bicentennial.
And again, the really funny part was I bought this mainly because I saw Don Rickles was on it, and it's not Don Rickles, it's Don Rickles. Oh, I can't believe that SAG and AFTRA didn't come after Don Rickles, and Don had some pretty interesting friends, the Don Rickles, and it's possible that this Don Rickles, once the real Don Rickles found out that this guy was, he probably sent Frank over to talk to him.
quite possibly, Frank. Frankk. Yeah, right.
Made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Hey, look, maybe you don't want to do that double N thing and just make that N stand for nothing. How about Nothing Rickles?
Why don't you change your name?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah, you do that. You can go with that.
You know what I loved about Don Rickles and Frank
What's that?
Sinatra's relationship?
What's
Like,
that?
Frank Sinatra was very high strung. Like, if he perceived
Oh, yeah, right.
that you criticized the hair on his head, he would flip out. But Rickles would go and say the most awful things to him.
Right.
And he just laughed and laughed and laughed. It really,
Oh,
it really humanized Frank Sinatra,
Well,
is what it did basically.
It really
and
helped.
it was funny.
My favorite Don Rickles story with Sinatra is the one where Don Rickles has his girlfriend or his wife to be out at a restaurant, and they're the same one as Sinatra, and while Don goes up to go to the bathroom, he goes over to Frank and says, "Hey, Frank, I'm trying to impress the girl I have with me. Would you just come over to the table and say hi?" And Frank goes, "Well, sure, and so Don goes and sits down, and then like 5 minutes later, Frank comes up to the table and says, "Hey, Don, how you doing?" And Don goes, "Frank, I'm freaking eating dinner here. Can you leave me alone?"
Yeah.
He screams
Crying
at
out
him.
loud. Yeah.
Cannot tell it is good, but if you go to Don Rickles' Frank Sinatra story, that is the all-time classic.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. But Martin, we've come to the end of the show here. We're over 30 minutes here.
Just in time for the 250th. We've gone 50 years.
That's right. And then the podcast was over.
Amen. There was much rejoicing.
There was much rejoicing. And Martin, as my gift to you, you get to go home with a Panasonic radio phonograph. Congratulations, Martin. You've been a great co-host. And,
fantastic.
I look forward to many more episodes with you by my side.
Yes.
And
another 250 years.
Another 250 years. Knock on wood. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Greg Van Antwerp. I'm
Martin Blanco.
And we'll see you next time on Stories from the Attic.
Bye-bye. That's Martin with two N's.
Martin.
President Roosevelt is the
Do you know how to play Russian roulette?
No, I don't.